Hello, hello, friends. Happy Thursday. How are you? I hope everybody is having a great, sunny, beautiful day. My children are outside for the first time in 3 days because it's been raining for 3 days. And so that in itself is glorious. I want to chat about your glass being half empty or half full today. So, hello. If you don't know me, my name is Gwen. And my purpose, I almost used the word passionate, but I'm trying to get away from that word. Hence what we talked about on yesterday's live video. My purpose, what I'm designed for, is to help women realize their self-worth, to help women realize that they can create a life by design and a life that they can be in love with. And I'm only able to do that because I have been on that same journey and have been able to figure it out for myself. And also part of my design, and I only know this because of human design, is that I'm intended to go first, turn around, put my hand back, and pull you guys along for the journey. Show you exactly what I did so that you can skip the mistakes and get a head start on what took me so long to figure out. So that is my reason for being here. If you guys are watching on YouTube, go ahead and click on the subscribe button, which should be right down over here below. And also the little bell so that you get notified whenever we come live. That way you can ask your questions live and I can hopefully answer them live. And even if not, I can come back and answer your questions later. So, mindset. Let's also make sure that we are live in the right space because that's also important. All right, let's see, guys. Let's see. Also, let me know if you can hear me. I'm using a new microphone, so I'm not too sure. Aha, here we are. Are we live? Are we live? We are live. Okay, cool. So, in the title, I asked if your glass was half empty or your glass was half full. And we oftentimes think of this as like, are you a positive person or are you a negative person? But I like to expand on that because I don't think that that's the only reason or the only term or definition that we can use when we're talking about half full and half empty. But I think it is a really great way for us to see how people look at life. Because there are people in life, and you can let me know if this is you, who expect the bad things to happen, right? Tell me that you've heard someone say to you, I'm just unlucky, nothing good ever happens to me, I never win anything, right? So we expect the bad things to happen or not, no good to come out of it. Or you know somebody who will say, I always win, I expect abundance, I'm always open to abundance, right? Like they know that the positive is coming without a doubt. That, my friends, is called mindset. And I got on this topic today because my husband's home today and he just sent me a profile on Instagram of a school that's opening up in Austin, Texas, which is where my sister is. And I was like, wow, that's such a cool school. I need to see if they have a school like that near me. So of course I look and see, and there are schools near us. So I start looking at their details and who they are and what they do. And I start looking at the people that they have teaching their guides inside their school, and they have a mindset guide. Like a person who talks about mindset. These are children. My heart just grew like a million times when I looked at that because I know that kids need to hear about mindset. They need to hear about this glass half full, glass half empty type of conversation. I went to a Montessori school as a kindergartner, and I am pretty sure, although I don't remember specifically, I am pretty sure that we had conversations very similar to that. But as you get into other school systems, it's not often that we have those conversations for our children. And imagine if our children learned how to use their words and learn how to use their brains and their minds to plan and design their future without even knowing that that's what they were going to do. Because that's exactly what mindset can and will do for you. So what is mindset? Mindset is how we look at the world. It's either fixed or it's growth. And by fixed, I mean, if you have a fixed mindset, you believe that however you were born into this world is how you were born. You can't enhance on your skills. You're just born with certain skills. You're either good at it or you're not. Whatever comes to you is exactly what was going to come to you no matter what you do. Growth mindset, you believe that you can change and grow your skills if you want to. If you want to go enhance your skills on something, you go learn and you go do it. You believe that you create your future, that you create the plan for you, and that you are open to abundance, and you welcome those things into your life. That is growth mindset in a nutshell. So why is that so important to us, right? Why do we even care? What does it matter? Well, I cannot tell you time after time after time the people that I've met who will say things to me like, well, I'm not lucky. Well, that would never happen for me. And do you know what happens when you tell yourself that over and over and over again? That becomes your reality. And I know that that's a really hard concept to grasp, because if you are very like scientific and very mathematical, and you need to have like X plus Y equals Z, right? Like if you need to have that concrete example, it is sometimes so hard to see that with mindset. But I promise you that once you start paying attention to how you're talking to yourself, how other people are talking to themselves, and then what shows up for you, and it's not immediate. And that's why this is hard, because it's not immediate. You don't just one day wake up and start talking to yourself positively and saying nice words and opening your arms to abundance and then expect that like that day things happen. It takes repetition, and it takes time, and it takes consistency, just like everything else we talk about here, right? And that is hard, because we have been taught that if we go to school and we learn this and we go to college and we get a job, we have a good paying job, and we can buy a house, and we can start a family. Like we've just been taught these steps lead to this, but we've forgotten to teach people how to talk to themselves, how to teach people how important it is, their presence in their own mind, in their own body, and also outwardly in the world, because it makes a huge difference. So how do we change? If you're like, crap, I think I'm fixed mindset, how do I change? How do I go from fixed to growth? Well, lucky for you, it's possible. Anyone can decide right now today that they don't want to be a fixed mindset anymore and they want to have a growth mindset. You can decide right now, and I encourage you to do so, because it's not hard. It's just going to take the power of auto-suggestion. I like to call it auto-suggestion or repetition. So you know how there are subliminal messages in commercials and in advertisements, right? There's subliminal messages that you're not hearing on the surface, but they're being consumed by you in the message, whether it's through the images that you're seeing that are telling your brain a story, or pictures, or just listening to the audio, right? Subliminal messages are everywhere. And once you start to hear those things over and over and over again, your brain doesn't know the difference between reality and not reality. And so when you tell it something, and then you tell it something again, and then you tell it something again, it's going to believe what you tell it. So here, it's easy, it's simple, right? All we have to do is tell it the good things. All we have to do is tell it that we expect positive things to happen. We expect abundance. We expect a good job. My sister used the power of this auto-suggestion and also a little bit of manifestation for her house. She told herself, I'm going to search for a house, and I'm going to find a house that has X, Y, and Z. And it was like a white kitchen and a porch and a tree out back. And I kid you not, that is her house. She positively spoke about that house. She made her brain believe that that was in her future. And that was the house that she had an offer accepted on right before this whole pandemic thing happened, and landed herself her own house. Exactly what she was looking for. I used this power of mindset to win myself a Peloton. These are not things that happen every day. These are just two extreme examples, but I can break it down into smaller chunks for you too. But I literally told myself, and then I told my friends, that I was winning a Peloton that I just entered to win. And then I won it. The power of auto-suggestion, so telling yourself these things and then believing it has to be attached to an emotion. You simply can't write something down, read it every day with no emotion, and expect for your body to believe it. You have to feel it here and here. And it has to be felt through your whole body, which means it might take some time. It might take repetition and repetition and repetition and repetition, months and years. It just takes time for your body to believe it, especially if you've been telling yourself all the negative things and telling yourself that you don't expect it and that it's not coming for so long. It might take a while for your body to, take on a new mindset. Okay? So it's practice. So why is this so important? Well, mindset is everything. You will not move forward in your goals and your dreams, and you won't be able to achieve. You won't be able to even concretely plan for your dreams and your goals if you're in a fixed mindset, if you're not allowing yourself to grow in your mind, right? So when we're talking about the power of language, it matters how we talk to ourselves, even in our mind. If you wake up in the morning and the first thing that you do is look in the mirror and say something negative about how you look, your body believes it. You encompass that feeling. But what would happen if you put your feet on the floor when you woke up in the morning and you told yourself that you were super grateful for being alive and breathing and putting your feet on the floor, and you looked in the mirror and you were like, "Hi, I love you. I love you. Thanks for being here today." I know it sounds ridiculous, you guys, and if you had asked me this like 10 years ago, I would have been like, "You have absolutely no idea what you're talking about, Gwen. I went to school. I know exactly what to do in order to land myself a job or create my dream, yada, yada." But I'm telling you, start doing this. Start talking to yourself in words that are positive. Start talking about other people in positive words. Does that make sense? Language, positive language. Expect the good, or retrain your brain to expect the good and not to expect the bad. Start writing things down for yourself. A gratitude journal is the most simple way for you to start really practicing how to be positive and how to expect the good. Write 3 things you're grateful for every single night before you go to bed. You're training your brain. Your brain is a muscle. It's learning how to do these things. And like I said, time and consistency are going to be your best friend. It might feel like an uphill battle for a little while, but once you get a glimmer of something showing up for you that maybe never showed up before, you're like, okay, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going because this feels really good. And once it feels really good, you're attaching all these emotions to how that feels. Your body's going to want more of that. You're going to find yourself leaning into that instead of pushing away. You're going to lean into more opportunities. You're going to have opportunities show up for you that didn't show up for you before. You're going to open up space in your mind where you probably blocked yourself from thinking of things. Maybe you'll be able to write a book. Maybe you'll write a course. Maybe you will collaborate with someone, or an opportunity will show up for you to collaborate with somebody else that wouldn't have shown up before in your space because you were blocked from receiving that. So, repetition, auto-suggestion, read books. Really think about how you talk to yourself, because it starts with you. And if your kids see how you talk to yourself, even if it's in your mind, I swear they know. They know, even if you're not saying it out loud, they know. Start talking to yourself nicely. Be good to yourself. Be good to your brain. It is the most important part of your body that will fuel you in all your other avenues. So I hope that helps. Happy Thursday. Go get your growth mindset. Rock the day. Come join us in Inspired and Ready for More. And let us know what you're working on. Let us know your progress. Let us know how good it feels to be a glass half full rather than a glass half empty. Okay, I love you guys.